Hey guys, it is Rachel Feldman. I am so excited to be here. Can you believe that we have been doing live streams every day at 9 a.m. to kick start your business? So if this is the first time you were here and you didn't sign up, but you were just seeing this, go right to my site at Rachel's Wellness /events and sign up for the 30 days of business gems, and you will get access to all of the live streams that we have done. Yes, that means you will get a recording. Second part is when you are there, sign up for the November 17th webinar, where I'm going to teach you how to create a sales funnel in limited time, and a sales funnel that is going to work for your unique business. Because if you don't have a good operating sales funnel, what's going to happen is you're not going to attract that client, have that conversation, warm them up, and possibly have different lead magnet opt-in freebies or programs at that low cost to do what? To create the trust and start building them to your higher end programs, to your higher end one-on-ones, right? So sign up for that webinar. Okay. Now, if you have just arrived and you don't know who I am, my name is Rachel Feldman. I've been a health coach for over 7 years. So I have run every different kind of workshop, program, online program, offline program, you name it, I have done it. And I have been able to have a sustainable business because I had that healthy sales funnel. So go back to day one video. And again, if you haven't signed up, just go to my site. But what we are going to talk about today is this. What number one app do I use to plan my launches? Now, this is going to be different for each one of you because each one of you are at different stages of your business. But planning is key. Even before we talk about the application and the app, I want to just talk about planning. A lot of coaches make this mistake. They don't look at each quarter, or you could call it a semester, and say, what do I want to launch? How much time am I giving myself to edit materials or go into launch mode or pre-launch, which is even more important than your launch. Why? Because this is where you get people excited. This is where people are like, oh my God, I've got to sign up for this program. This is where they see your excitement too. And what? People buy you and then they buy the product. People buy you and then they buy the program. People buy you and then they say, yes, I would like a strategy session. So when you are planning, and I've started to do what everyone should be doing right now, planning out my 2017, I want you to be asking yourself the questions. What are you launching in January? Or are you launching something right now in, post-Thanksgiving? Or are you doing one of those list building and getting people on your list? Because if you think you can survive with 30 people, 50, even 150, or even 1,000 on your list, it's going to be hard to survive for long-standing sustainability, which is what we want. So in this planning phase, I always want you to think, especially in a launch, okay, what do I have pre-launch? What do I need to, how much time do I need to dedicate to get my materials done? How much time do I need to dedicate to get social media or to plan events offline, or to plan, a webinar? And what components? That's the biggest thing that I think people forget. So I'm going to actually flip you around for a second. Bear with me. Computer. Just want to make sure that you can see, because if I don't do this properly, you will be just seeing a backwards board, and that is no good for anybody. Okay, so here is our board. Thank you for bearing with me, guys. Okay, so let's even talk about launch. My favorite thing, and something that I do all year. When I talk about launch, we are not just talking about you launching a program online or offline. This is the misconception that a lot of people have. We are talking about you launching an opt-in freebie. We're talking about an event. We're talking about anything that you are doing in your business. So I want you to think about this launch as a process that you need to master. Whether you're thinking about membership or group programs, or launching your website, or launching an opt-in freebie. But especially when you're launching, there are components. So if you're launching a program for post-Thanksgiving or pre-holiday, or especially for January, I want you to start thinking, okay, what components do I need? The process that I go through is I actually start in a workbook. Many of you have actually seen me talk about this. Start in a workbook, I do a brain dump. Then I take that brain dump and I move to a whiteboard like what you see here. And I say pre-launch, launch, post-launch. In each of these categories, you're gonna say, what do I need pre-launch? I need to make sure my documents, I need to make sure my sales page, I need to make sure my social media, and of course I have all of this, especially if you buy the Done For You program, so you have all of this in our manuals. There are gonna be a lot, probably about 15 different checkoffs, and it's gonna be different depending on what you're launching. Then when you're launching, your email sequences to get people, or your replays, especially if you're doing a webinar, because that is when you have doors open. Ta-da, this is the big day. And for some of you, if you're doing do-it-yourself programs, you're still in that promotion phase. Even if it's a do-it-yourself and that, that you don't have a set doors open and close date, you still have a promotional period. Then post-launch, just because you launch on that day, post-launch is social media. This is post-launch emails. If you are launching all season, or if this is a membership, or if this is a group, what maybe you need to do, 2 post webinars. Maybe you need to do strategy sessions. There are so many, so even right here would be your images up here, so that nothing is left to the point where you get overwhelmed and you feel like, oh my God, how can I do this? The biggest thing is organization, so that you can really look at it. Then as I take this, I start to brain dump dates. What do I need? Am I having copywriter help me? Or for any of you who buy the Done For You programs, we've done the copywriting for you. We've done the PowerPoints. Now it's up to you to reach out to chiropractors, spas, different places to host events, or to promote and do your events online. So you want to start thinking in this overall mind map, and then you want to transfer it to, you want to transfer it to some different applications. So let's just say the application. And these are online. You can have Asana. Now these are not free. Basecamp. I use Teamwork myself. The other thing is that if you wanted to also keep your project organized so that you just saw in a to-do list, you can also do this on an Excel spreadsheet. You can also do this on a Google Excel spreadsheet. Google Drive, Doc, Excel. Which is really nice, especially if you're working with a VA or any team members, because this is in live real time. So my favorite application, of course, is Teamwork, but this is also paid, and for many of you, you just want something that's really easy, something that is also maybe free. I love Google Drive Excel. Again, because you can add in the dates, you can itemize this and say, for example, and color code. So if you wanted to have, an email that went out to your main list on a Tuesday at 11:30, that could be the color green, all emails. If you wanted to do a webinar and then the replay, that would be itemized, what day, so that you see the flow and the process of your launch, so that you're not scattered. It is so important when you're launching so that you're decreasing overwhelm, no matter how big or small your launch is. The whole reason that you want to have a process and a system to work in is so that you decrease the overwhelm. Now give me 1 second. Okay guys, let me just take you through a few things as I move that away. A lot of people get extremely overwhelmed with launching. Launching for many people can feel scary, overwhelming. They don't know where to start. I get these questions daily. And I hear a lot of other coaches, promote systems or do this. And there are a lot of great systems out there without a doubt. But your launch has to also work for you. So when I work with people, yes, membership sites sound great, but they aren't necessarily wonderful for everyone. Group programs sound great, but a lot of people thrive launching their programs offline. So as I mentioned yesterday, really think what kind of coach you are. Do you launch your programs better offline? Do you actually launch better online? Regardless of how you launch or where you launch best, you still have to stay organized. And that means that the moment that you download your materials, and I used to do this for myself, start editing. And I'm going to tell you why. Don't get into the overwhelm phase. Literally start to edit. And start to actually put that, like I said, even just on a Google Drive, a Google Doc, the date I started to edit. Give yourself deadlines so that you don't feel overwhelmed. So you know, okay, if I set aside 3 hours on a Saturday, that means by Monday I can have all my docs edited. And if this takes so much time, hire a virtual assistant. The very things that are going to take you so much time are just not worth it. So then you can have every itemized task on this Excel spreadsheet, so you're seeing it in one big picture. When do emails go out? When are you hosting a webinar? What is that leading them to? Do you have, and if you know that you're hosting a webinar on November 12th, great. Then you know on November 6th, you want to have that email ready. So you're not in emergency mode. So you feel what, guys? Planned, set. So I want you to be thinking about, what are you using right now? Are you just using this to say, oh my God, or are you using, is everything in your head? Or are you scrambling last minute to say, do I have my social media? Or do I have the emails written? Or are you not even sending an email to your community and saying, I have this awesome program? Really think about what you're doing, because if you're spending all this time, money, and energy to invest in your business, you want it to be planned. Now, again, you don't have to spend money on Teamwork, Basecamp, or Asana to have a planned launch. You can do it in Google Drive, which is free, but you do want it to be planned. So it's strategic, but not only so it's strategic, so that it lessens the load for you and you do not feel a sense of overwhelm. All right, guys, it was a pleasure to be with you today. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. And this was just our mini talk about launching and how important it is to make sure that you are launching like a pro and that you are really thinking about your launch so that your launch does not take you over. All right, guys, if you have not signed up for November 17th, when we demystify the sales funnel and a new pricing strategy, do, because I'm also giving you 5 worksheets and 5 videos to take you through the launch sales funnel process So by the time we get to this webinar, you know exactly where are the leaks in your sales funnel. I will see you guys soon. Have an awesome day.